Hey there, Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Wanted to talk to you real quick about something that I get from students all the time. It's sort of that analysis by paralysis thing, which is, where do you start your blues solo? Okay, if you're gonna play a blues solo, let's say you're playing a blues in A, and you might know, a couple of different patterns, right? You might know the good old box one, or you might know the what I call the four-note solo pattern. Or maybe even what I call the house pattern, which is also the top of box 2. And all those are items for a whole other video. But what's important, there's actually two things. First of all, where you start your solo is not nearly as important as when. So the first thing, if you're worried about where to start your solo, forget about that for now, because what's actually way more important is when you start your solo. And the answer is anytime after beat 1. That's the easiest explanation I can give you. In blues soloing, it's always effective to not play on beat 1. Blues is call and response music. So the call is handled by the band on beat 1, okay? So if the band's coming around from the 5 chord to the 1, right? And here's the top, and now it's your turn to solo. Don't play yet. Boom. Let the band hit that first chord. And then maybe you come in. Okay? Now, you got a couple of different options. Assuming it's not beat 1 and you're starting out, let's say you're using the little 4-note solo pattern. Right? So I'm anchored around that A at the 10th fret of the 2nd string. Best places are that note, the root note, or the note right below it. Reason being, that's the root, that's the flatted 7th. They're chord tones. Okay? Now, if you're doing the box 1, the same rules apply. The root, which is there at the 5th fret of the 1st string, is probably the easiest one. The reason I don't recommend the lower ones, the one at the 7th fret or the one at the 5th fret of the 6th string, those are, I like to say that's in the basement, okay? Those lower notes don't really jump out when you use them in a solo. You can kind of, start high and you can kind of get away with it. You can sort of, trail off. It's almost like an echo trails off, but the band's going and everything, it tends to get lost. So I don't recommend that you start down there in that low region. Start at either this highest A or something that works right up to it. Right? So no matter what, you're aiming for that root note. Or again, that note right below it, which is the flatted 7th, and it's also a chord tone. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And off you go. From there, it's really not, the sky's the limit. You can play a lot of different things. But just to get started, wait for beat 1 to go by, use the root or use the flat 7. They're guaranteed to work. I'm really big on this whole idea. Some things will always sound good, okay? What I'm telling you, this is a rule. You can lean on this. It'll always work. It's guaranteed to sound authentic. It's a classic blues style, right? Does that mean you can't start on beat 1? No, it doesn't mean that. But if you do start on beat 1, it may not sound very good, okay? There's certain times and places when it'll work. If you start on a note other than the root or other than the 7th, will it sound okay? It might, but it might not. And I don't know. So I don't want to guarantee that you're going to have success with that. Okay? So I hope you kind of understand where I'm coming from. Hope this gives you some ideas. Again, if you dig this video, share it with somebody else who might like it, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.